Hi, I'm Bill Conger, Chief Curator at Peoria Riverfront Museum, and today I'd like to tell you a little bit of a story that includes a very important memorial that we are approaching, the 20th anniversary of September 11th, 2001, the day of the infamous, of course, terror attacks on our country, and a work of art in our collection, a work by Auguste Rodin, which is behind me now, and it is called the Danaid. In 1988, Lakeview Museum of Arts and Sciences, which was our predecessor in name and facility, hosted a very important exhibition. It was a blockbuster exhibition called the Passion of Rodin, and that work featured over 50 works of sculpture, most of which were provided by a collector named B. Gerald Cantor. And some other works in that exhibition were loaned by the Smart Museum in Chicago as well. But really, that show is remembered today as the most successful cultural event in Peoria by far. The 2-month-long run of the exhibition saw over 5,000 museum goers wrapping the front of the museum. And of course, the Thinker by Rodin was installed outside the grounds on the frontage area. Peoria's exhibition in 1988 was made possible as a result of a mistake in a trade conducted with then Peoria-based investor Gary Bielfeldt and Gerald Bernie Cantor. The result was a significant loss for Bielfeldt. As an apology, an exhibition of the B. Gerald Cantor collection of Auguste Rodin was offered, knowing that Gary's wife Carlotta was then a board member of Lakeview Museum. Cantor, who died in 1996, at one time owned the largest private collection of Rodin works in the world. He first purchased The Hand of God around 30 years of age, just after a stint in the military. And his love for Rodin really turned his own obsession into a resurrection of the artist, which was waning significantly in the mid-20th century. And ultimately, Cantor would amass over 750 works by the French Impressionist master. 13 years after Peoria's exhibition, the world was stunned when the terrorist attack on September 11th, 2001 saw the implosion of the World Trade Center. And on the 105th floor of the North Tower lived the offices of Cantor Fitzgerald, the global securities firm that I referred to earlier. In the offices was held what was termed at the time, the Museum in the Sky. And essentially this was the firm's corporate collection, as well as some of Cantor Fitzgerald's personal collection. Over 300 of Cantor's works by Auguste Rodin were housed, displayed, and ultimately lost. At the lowest level of the Ground Zero Museum in Lower Manhattan, you can still see today a single remnant that escaped total annihilation. It's a twisted wreck, really, of one of Rodin's famous 3 shades, 3 standing figures, which are really emblematic of Rodin's work. And that work was featured in the Peoria exhibition. Back in 1988, thanks to Gary Bielfeldt, a modern casting of the modest work Danaid was donated to the permanent collection as a result of the interactions and the exhibition, which was very well received, and Lakeview received that work. Although we cannot know whether our work, Danaid, would have resided on the 105th floor of the North Tower in 2001, we still remember and give very special thanks to everybody who was involved in us receiving this very special Rodin.